No one is supposed to knock on that door after dark. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone, but there was one house we never talked about unless we absolutely had to. It sat at the end of Willow Lane, a lopsided old place with weather-beaten shingles, windows that looked fogged from the inside, and a door painted a dull, flaking red. Nobody lived there. At least, not in the daylight. The town rule was simple, and it was one of the first things kids were told when they were old enough to play outside on their own. You can pass the house, you can glance at it, but you never, ever knock on that door after dark. No one ever explained why. Parents just warned us, neighbors repeated it, and older kids whispered it at sleepovers like a dare no one actually wanted to try. The stories varied. Some said there was a man inside, waiting, who only answered after the sun went down. Others swore it wasn't a man at all, that the door didn't even lead into the house anymore, but somewhere else. But every story ended the same way: you knock, you're never the same again. When I was 16, I thought I was braver than the rest. Or maybe just dumber. I'd been drinking with friends, and someone brought it up. "Bet you won't do it," they said, grinning. I laughed it off at first, but as the night went on and the streets emptied, I found myself standing at the corner of Willow Lane, staring down the street at that crooked little house. My friends were too far behind to stop me, and the booze in my system convinced me I had nothing to be afraid of. The house was smaller up close, hunched in on itself like it was trying to hide. The door seemed darker than the rest of the wood around it, the peeling red paint clinging stubbornly like dried scabs. The air felt heavy, and I realized the usual summer night sounds, crickets, the distant hum of cars, were gone. It was silent, except for my heartbeat. I raised my hand and knocked. 3 times. The sound echoed wrong, too deep, as if I'd knocked on a hollow tree trunk instead of wood. I froze, half expecting the door to creak open on its own. But nothing happened. I let out a shaky laugh, ready to turn back and tell my friends it was just a stupid story, when I heard it. Knocking. From the other side. It was soft at first, mirroring exactly what I had done. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. My breath caught in my throat. The air seemed to press against my skin, thick and humid. I took a step back, but before I could move further, a voice drifted through the wood. "Come in." It didn't sound like one voice. It was layered, as if dozens of throats were speaking in unison, men, women, children, all overlapping in a grotesque harmony. I staggered back, but my feet didn't want to move. My hand twitched at my side, as though some invisible string tugged at it, guiding me forward again. The door shuddered. Just once. Enough for the frame to rattle. I saw the knob twitch, then twist, though no hand touched it. A hairline crack appeared between the door and the frame, and from that sliver seeped a cold draft that smelled of damp earth and something coppery, metallic. I turned and ran. I didn't look back, not once, though I swore I could hear footsteps matching mine, following me down the lane. My friends said I came back pale, eyes wide, too shaken to speak. They laughed it off at first, thinking I was trying to keep the dare alive with some tall tale. But after that night, something changed. I couldn't sleep properly anymore. Every night, right around midnight, I'd wake to the sound of faint knocking, 3 slow raps, perfectly measured. Not at my bedroom door, not even on the walls. It came from beneath my bed. I moved rooms, stayed at friends' houses, even tried sleeping at school during late study sessions, but it always followed. Always 3 knocks, always at night. The worst part isn't the knocking, though. It's the voice. It doesn't speak often, but when it does, it's the same chorus I heard at the house. Only now it says my name. It whispers it like a prayer, each syllable repeated by a dozen different mouths, some too high, some too deep, until it doesn't even sound like my name anymore. My parents say I talk in my sleep now. That sometimes I sit upright in bed, eyes open, and murmur to someone who isn't there. I don't remember any of it, but my throat burns in the mornings, raw as if I'd been screaming all night. And last night, I noticed something new. I came home late, and when I turned onto Willow Lane, I saw the house again at the end of the street. Only this time, the red door wasn't shut. It was wide open, yawning into a darkness that swallowed even the moonlight. Inside, I could see a shape. Not a man, not exactly, but something tall and thin, with arms that dangled too long and fingers that curled against the frame like hooks. Its head tilted when it saw me, as if it already knew I'd be there. And though I was still half a block away, I heard it clear as day, carried on the night air. "Come in." I haven't told anyone. What would I even say? That the stories were true? That the rules we were told as kids weren't just warnings, but desperate instructions to keep something contained? The only thing I know for certain is this: the house isn't waiting for just anyone. It's waiting for me. Because I was the one stupid enough to knock. And now, sooner or later, I think I'll answer. I keep telling myself I won't go back, but every night the pull grows stronger. The knocking under my bed has gotten louder. It used to be faint, like a reminder, but now it feels deliberate, angry. Each strike rattles the frame, reverberates up through the mattress, shakes my ribs from the inside. I jam earplugs in, turn on music, even sleep at a friend's place, but none of it matters. The sound follows me. Last week, I fell asleep in the school library, and at midnight, I heard the unmistakable 3 raps against the underside of the wooden desk. My classmates thought it was a joke, but I saw the fear in their eyes when the sound repeated after everyone went quiet. No one was touching it. The voice has grown bolder, too. It doesn't just whisper my name anymore, it bargains. It tells me the door isn't so bad, that what waits inside is only what I already asked for the night I knocked. Sometimes it promises things I can't admit out loud: relief, escape, answers. Other times it laughs in a dozen fractured tones, mocking the way I tremble, reminding me that no one else hears it, that I'm the chosen one whether I like it or not. 2 nights ago, I made the mistake of speaking back. I don't even remember deciding to. I woke up sitting at the edge of my bed, my mouth moving, my throat raw, repeating something over and over. I only caught the last word as my consciousness snapped back: open. My bedroom curtains had been pulled wide, though I hadn't touched them, and outside on the empty street, the red door stood waiting where no house should have been. Now it's not just under the bed. It's spreading. The bathroom mirror fogged itself up while I was brushing my teeth, though the water wasn't hot. On the glass, smeared in streaks like a fingertip dragged through condensation, were 3 words: "Let me in." I didn't write them. My family swears they didn't. That night, every doorknob in the house rattled at once, even the locked ones. My parents woke and ran through the hall, panicked, but when they checked outside, nothing was there. I didn't tell them the truth, that the door didn't need to be here physically. It was already inside with me. Sleep isn't possible anymore. My dreams are just extensions of the knocking, looping endlessly. I see the house every time I close my eyes, but it's not on Willow Lane anymore. It's in the center of my mind, waiting in an endless black field, its red paint peeling, the doorway wide open. Shadows shift beyond it, shapes with too many joints, too many mouths, always whispering in overlapping voices. They don't beg, they don't threaten. They invite. Every time I dream it, the threshold feels closer, like I'm only steps away. I tried burning sage, praying, even sleeping with every light on. Nothing helps. Last night, I heard the knocks again. 3, steady, like a heartbeat. Only this time, they weren't coming from under the bed or the walls. They came from inside the closet. The wooden door bowed inward with each strike, the knob twitching, and I knew it wasn't long before it would swing open on its own. I pressed a chair against it and sat awake until dawn, shaking, listening to soft laughter seep through the cracks. And tonight it's worse. I can already feel it, like the air is charged with static, humming against my skin. I haven't gone near my window, but I don't need to. I know if I look outside, I'll see it again, that flaking red door, standing in the middle of the street, open wide. I know if I stand at the threshold, there won't be anything to stop me. No friends, no family, no rules to keep me safe. Just the dark, and the voices, and the promise that once I cross, I won't come back. I used to think I was afraid of dying. Now I realize it's worse than that. I'm afraid of becoming. Afraid that when I finally answer, when I step through, I won't just vanish. I'll join the voices. I'll be another echo, another layered whisper, waiting for the next fool to knock. And the more I think about it, the more I wonder if I already have. Because sometimes, when I catch my reflection in the window late at night, the mouth that moves isn't mine. And when it speaks, it doesn't say my name anymore. It says, "Come in." The reflection lingers even after I turn away, like it has its own patience, its own will. I'll catch it in the corner of my eye when I brush my teeth, or when I pass a darkened television screen, lips twitching in movements I don't feel, whispering in silence. I stopped looking into mirrors, stopped glancing into car windows, even unplugged every device in my room that carried a reflective surface. But reflections aren't picky. A puddle in the street. A polished doorknob. The black glass of my phone, even when it's powered off. Wherever I go, it waits for me, always mouthing those same 2 words like a command. Come in. I tried avoiding the house. Tried taking different streets, tried ignoring the rattle of the door handle in my dreams. But one night, the house wasn't on Willow Lane anymore. It was waiting in the alley behind the gas station where I bought coffee. Another night, it was crouched between two apartment blocks downtown, wedged like it had grown there overnight. The red paint still peeled, the warped frame still breathing like it wasn't built of wood but of something alive. No matter how far I go, the house moves with me. It isn't anchored to a street anymore. It's anchored to me. The people closest to me have started noticing. Not the house, not the knocking, but me. My mother asked why my voice sometimes sounds like I'm speaking over myself, like there's an echo under every word. My coworker said she heard me call her name from the break room, even though I'd been outside smoking. A friend swore she saw me standing on her porch after midnight, silent, just watching, but I hadn't left my own house that night. When I asked her what she did, her voice shook. She said she closed the curtains. The house is clever. It knows how to slip into the world unnoticed. A neighbor told me he dreamed of knocking on a red door, only to wake with splinters in his knuckles. Another friend swears he heard 3 knocks on his bedroom wall and smelled peeling paint, but when he checked, nothing was there. I didn't have the heart to tell him that the infection spreads, like rot through timber. The house doesn't just want me. It's using me as the seed, and everything else will follow. Last night was the worst. I woke with dirt under my fingernails, my shoes muddy, though I had locked my front door before bed. My phone camera was open, recording, but when I played the footage back, it wasn't my bedroom in the frame. It was the hallway of the red house, stretching on forever, doors lining either side. Each one pulsed faintly, as if breathing, and every so often, one would shudder with the sound of frantic knocking from the inside, someone else begging to get out, or begging me to let them in. At the end of the hall, the camera tilted toward a mirror, and I saw myself standing there. Except I wasn't holding the phone. I was smiling, wide and wrong, my lips shaping words I couldn't hear. Now I don't just hear knocking. I feel it. In my chest, in my bones, in the walls of every room I enter. The sound is inside me, reverberating like my whole body is hollow wood. Sometimes, when I breathe, the air tastes like rust and old paint. Sometimes, when I blink, I swear I see a sliver of red behind my eyelids, a doorway waiting where there should only be dark. And sometimes, when I dream, I'm not outside the house anymore, I'm already standing in the foyer, the door shut tight behind me. I don't remember when I crossed over. Maybe it was the night I knocked. Maybe it was the night I answered. Maybe it was every night since. All I know is that the line between here and there is gone, blurred beyond saving. I walk the streets in daylight, but the shadows I cast don't move right. At night, when the knocking starts, I don't even bother covering my ears anymore. Because it's not outside. It's inside. The house is no longer something I can escape, it's something I carry. And now I understand the final truth. The house doesn't want me to enter. It never did. It wanted to enter me. The red door wasn't just a threshold on Willow Lane, it was a seed planted in my head, sprouting, rooting deeper every time I thought about it, every time I spoke about it, every time I told myself not to go back. I can feel it even as I write this. My hands don't stop trembling. My reflection is watching me from the darkened window across the room, lips curled into a smile I don't feel. And when I pause, when I stop typing, the only sound I hear is the steady rhythm of knuckles against wood. 3 knocks. Always 3. And this time, I don't think I'll resist. Because after everything, after all the fear and running and pretending, I've finally realized something I can't unknow. I'm not outside the door anymore. I'm already home.